from Mike Pence to Nancy Pelosi to Mitch McConnell, who on that day, we're talking that day, January 6th, stood in the gap and protected and defended democracy. And you know what? We should be able to sit back and look at that and say, job well done, because that was the day our democracy really was on the line.
No, I think there comes moments when we step past our agreements, disagreements, partisan or whatever they may be, and have to take a stand for what we really believe in. Mm-hmm. And what I think we saw that day, and no one has been more critical of Mike Pence than I have, and still do disagree with him on 9 out of 10 things. But he chose the country over his own life. I mean, this guy, imagine you're in a building seeing these kind of mobs coming through wanting to kill you, and your boss, you're hearing by phone, is instigating them. And he still chose to do the right thing for the country.
And stay there when he could have very easily escaped and been safe.
Easily escaped. He had Secret Service, all kinds of security that could have gotten him out on any number of routes. And he stood there, which in many ways kept the country from falling into whatever it could have fell into. Yeah. So at that moment, I've got to give a lot of respect to Mike Pence. Now, we're going to fight on everything else.
For sure.
But at that moment, I think he did something that was absolutely heroic. And I think that he should be given credit for that. Yeah. And I think had he not done that, the reason I can give him credit is suppose if he hadn't done that, suppose if he had gone to the well and tried to not certify the election, suppose if he had done what Donald Trump wanted to do, who knows how that would have ended up with that violent mob and people around the country that were prone to duplicate that violence in different states that were questionable. So by me looking at the possibilities of what could have happened had he not stood up, I have to give respect to him.
We're in a far different place. And really quickly, we talked yesterday about Benny Thompson. A lot of us, myself included early on, saying the January 6th committee wasn't doing enough. They weren't being aggressive enough. They certainly have laid this out remarkably well. Benny Thompson gone out of his way to keep his head down, do his job. No showboating by any members of the committee. They've all done an extraordinary job, haven't they?
I think so. I think Benny Thompson has really become the personification of what you do as chairman and as a statesperson. He's handled it, and he had a lot of pressure. What are you doing? Why you're dragging your feet? And he just kept going methodical, not listening to the noise, and I think that he has really risen to real heights as a statesman historically in this country. Yeah. He and Liz Cheney. I mean, I never thought I'd of respect. I must be having.
I tell you what, it's upside down.
It's a bad
here.
Juneteenth weekend thing with me, but for me to be praising a Cheney and a Pence, it's going to be a great Juneteenth for me.
Yes, it is something. We are in paradoxical terrain, as British parliamentarian and writer Roy Jenkins called it.